everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. This is my first video of the year and it's March. I do apologize, but what a year it has been. So I actually wanted to talk about, well, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but seeing as like I'm kind of in self-isolation, I was like, well, this is probably the best time to get back on my YouTube videos. And I really wanted to stay clear of this topic, but it's what's happening worldwide, so I can't really do that. I just want to talk about it a little bit. So this isn't going to be a long video. Well, Ms. Rona is around, COVID-19, and I don't even know where to start with it, but it will come to an end eventually. I'm praying for the people who have lost loved ones, for the people who are currently sick, people who are so sick that they have to be hospitalized. I pray that you have peace. I pray you have strength to overcome it. I pray that people who have lost loved ones, that they're able to get through such a difficult time, because it is madness out there. So I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria. And I traveled to the UK for work. I traveled and I came back 2 days later. So I left on Friday and I came back on Sunday. So I was there for like a day and a half basically. So I get there and my work, I went there for a job and it was cancelled. So let me explain this. I was monitoring the news for about 3 weeks before I traveled, because I could see, I remember when there was the first case in the UK, that was like February, sometime beginning of February. So I was kind of monitoring the numbers and I was like, if this thing is really going to get out of hand, I'm not going to be able to go for this work trip. Anyway, the thing is, when you're doing something and you put money towards it, and there's other factors as well, sense tends to go out of the window. So anyway, I travel and I am freaking out slightly, but by the time I travel, I think they have about 300 cases or something like that. So I was looking at the whole scope, because I saw Italy, saw what was happening in China, Iran, and those numbers were just far greater. So I was thinking, okay, these people can kind of get it under control. Anyway, get to Heathrow Airport. First of all, I did the whole like sanitize my seat, like I wasn't even playing around. So I get to Heathrow Airport and I now realize that I don't know if that these people don't know what is coming, or they're not taking it seriously. I mean, every government has a way that they're going to handle it, so it's fine, I guess. But no one asked where I came from. Nothing was checked. I just thought it was a little bit strange, but I thought, okay, no problem. Anyway, I'm here for work, and it hasn't blown up yet, right? So I get there, and the next day I'm supposed to have rehearsals, and it's cancelled, and then basically it's decided that we're not going to film. So I called my travel agent to reschedule a flight that day on the Saturday. Couldn't get that flight because it was now fully booked, because things were starting to, the thing was accelerating. So I booked for Sunday. Anyway, all I know is that when I did go out, which was rare, I took a taxi, I bought surgical gloves and a mask, and I was going around with my gloves. And the thing with the gloves is like, you can't like say, I'm wearing the gloves and I'm wearing it all day. You wear the gloves. The gloves is like you're using your hands. So you touch something, then you need to change your gloves, or you just make sure you don't touch your face. I mean, I was like, I traveled with 4 bottles of hand sanitizer spray. I have the spray. I used the 4 bottles in 48 hours. That's how manic I was. If I had a delivery to the flat, I sprayed the box. I would collect everything with surgical gloves. I sprayed the box. I put the box by the door. I did not open it. I left it there for ages. I finally opened it. I sprayed what was inside. I was just spraying everything and anything, because I was just thinking, okay, I started to get really paranoid. Anyway, I come back to Lagos and flight is absolutely full. I think people start taking their kids out of school at this point. That's fine. And I come back and then they do the usual, you write your name on the form, where you sat, blah, 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 blah. But I think they have this in a flight manifesto, but never mind, I'll put the details there. And that was that. And I come home, and at this point, the government had not said There was no, UK was not banned from coming to the, people from the UK were not banned from coming, flights from the UK, sorry, were not banned from coming into the country. Nobody said if you've been out of the country, you need to self-isolate. So there was none of that yet. It was to come though. So there was none of that yet. So I just decided myself that, you know what, I've been out, for me it was, I'd been at the airport and I'd been in a plane. That was it. And I felt very uncomfortable. I'll tell you what, when I came home, I basically I don't know how to explain it. I didn't really come inside the house. I basically changed. I stripped all my clothes, my shoes, everything, and I left it outside of our house. I got someone to bring me something to wear. I went in, I had a shower from top to bottom. When I said from my hair, I washed everything. And then I left everything outside for it to be cleaned and sanitized and all that kind of stuff. Like I was taking it very seriously. Anyway, so I just decided, you know what? I was thinking, should I self-isolate? Nobody said anything. The thing hasn't really blown up yet, blah, 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 blah. I think by the time I left, the UK was still under 1,000 cases. Then I get home and find out that my son actually has a temperature. So I have to take him to the hospital. I said, hey, I've just come back from this place. Okay, no problem. No problem. So I go to the hospital and I tell the doctors, but actually at the hospital they checked you outside, check your temperature, blah blah blah. So I just give full disclosure. I said I've just come back from the UK, but he had his temperature. If I come back from the UK, so it's not like he got his temperature from me or whatever, and all that. So I tell them, and then they're like, oh, okay, no, that's fine, no problem. Check my son out, he's fine, blah blah blah. Give him the medication he needs. Okay, give him the medication he needs. And we go home. Then I decide, you know what, I'm just gonna sit my ass down because I just was feeling some type of way. I said, let me just sit down. Like I knew I didn't have this thing, but let me just sit down. Today I've been on a plane. That wasn't a thing. I've been on a plane. Have you ever had it when you just hear these noises and you're just like a little bit scared? Anyway. So I'm basically almost done with my 2 weeks of sort of quarantine or self-isolation. It's been boring as hell. It's really boring, but I just feel like it's the right thing to do. I wasn't told, I wasn't on any flights that they put, you know, oh, this flight came in on these days, you need to isolate, this flight came in on these days, you need to isolate, there's somebody on this flight, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't part of any of those people. I flew in before the ban happened, before the UK and the US ban happened, and before the airports were closed and all that kind of stuff. But my gripe is that, look, I'm just urging people to do the right thing. I understand where you're coming from. You're thinking, I don't have it, so therefore I can just do what I want. No. First of all, you don't know that you don't have it. Secondly, you might be, is it asymptomatic, where you don't have symptoms, but you're going around spreading it. Thirdly, as it stands today, there are 30-something cases in Nigeria. There are more than 30-something cases. That's 30-something cases that they know of. Just like the numbers in the UK now is probably like 6,000 and something. But that they know of, that they've tested. Because they don't test everybody. They say if you're feeling sick, stay at home and isolate yourself. It's only if it gets so bad, you're going to have to go to the hospital. So therefore, just do the right thing. If you have come into the country, just isolate yourself. Although the airport's closed now, so you can't do that. If you feel or you know or you've been told that you are at somewhere and there's somebody that had it and they were there, just isolate yourself. If, like, just, you know, I mean, I think now they said it's 20 people gatherings of 20 people. By the time I edit this video and it comes out, maybe it's going to be gatherings of 10 people or 5 people or no gatherings at all. If they're just saying gatherings of 20 people, don't go and have a party. Trust me, I know it's hard. You booked your wedding. You booked your wedding for this time of year and you're like, I cannot believe this is happening. It's not the end of the world. It feels like the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world. Like, for me, it's just do the right thing. Do you know that one person being infected can actually infect within the space of 3 to 4 weeks 3,500 people? That's the knock-on effect. Because one person technically infects 2.8 people. Then they infect another 2.8 people. And do you see how it multiplies? Did you hear about the thing in South Korea that I don't know where the person went? There was like 1,000 people and then the thing blew up overnight. As it stands today in Louisiana, in the US, they had on a Friday 98 cases. On the Saturday, Sunday, they had 900 cases. Do you see how easy? The more people get it, the worse it gets. And it doesn't get worse like 2 people have it, then 5 people have it. No, it gets worse like 300 people have it from 2 people having it. So my thing is just like, this thing, to curb this thing, apart from the spiritual aspect, like we need to be praying like there's no tomorrow, because this is a God issue. Like we human beings cannot solve this thing. But what we need to do is that this thing is a selfless act. You cannot be selfish and say, oh, let's try and break this thing. You have to be selfless. So you have to sit at home, or if you're going to meet someone, and the thing is, you're going to meet somebody in their house, that's fine, go meet them in their house. Do you know what they've been? Has that person been staying at home for the last 2 to 3 weeks? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a selfless act. It's something that you literally have to be like, okay, I'm actually just going to stay put. And it's boring, but you find things to do. I mean, hey, I've got a toddler. Like, it's tired. It's not even boring. It's tired. Like, I'm exhausted because I'm trying to amuse him all day. School closed early, all that stuff. So, I'll just implore people, apart from washing your hands and sanitizing if you don't have soap and water, wash your hands for 20 seconds. You know, say the Lord's Prayer when you're washing your hands. I think that's how long it takes or whatever. I would implore people, right, that the greatest thing, apart from washing your hands and sanitizing your hands and staying 2 meters away from people, is keeping yourself to yourself. Because what happens is you if you have it, you're spreading it to somebody else. That's it. But if you're not in contact with people, you're not spreading it. It's just that simple. And by the way, the longer people, because there are people in other countries as well who are like, what's the big deal? Let's just hang out in clusters. The longer you prolong this whole, I mean, I think it's going to get to the point where we're all going to be quarantined and they're just going to be like, everyone should just sit down at home. We're not at that point yet in Nigeria. But the longer it is left that people are told to just sit down, like stop work and all that stuff, and I know that's a whole nother matter, people not working, you have to pay rent, you have to pay your mortgage, etc., etc. The longer that happens, or the longer people say, I'm not going to obey what I'm being told, the longer it will take.
Period!
So if half of the people are doing it, half people aren't doing it, it's just going to take even longer. So if you're thinking, oh, it's so boring, I've been at home for 3 weeks, I've been at home for 4 weeks, it's just going to take even longer if you're not complying. So just do the right thing. I have a friend in London, he got it. First of all, he'd been MIA for ages, sent him messages, wasn't responding, finally responded. And I was like, where have you been? And he was like, oh, I had it. And I was like, what? And he said, it's so bad that he said he's scared about getting it again, that he can't get that thing again. Like it felt that bad. And people saying, oh, I'm young, I can get it, it's fine, I'll get over it. That's selfish, because you could give it to your grandmother, your grandfather, old people, or people who have asthma, or people who are in high risk categories. And then what will happen? So it's not about, oh, I can get it and I can fight it, but you're going to spread it to other people. So how about you just think about other people? That's my 2 cents. But yeah, it will pass. It's gonna pass. It has no choice but to pass. It's not gonna be like this forever. It's just a question of when. But I think in the meantime, just do the best you can to take care of yourselves and pray. And yeah, I think that's all I can advise, really. So that's it. Apart from that, hope you guys are well. Please, can you give me some ideas on what to do videos on? Because now there's nothing to do, really. All my speaking engagements, everything I was meant to do has been cancelled. I came back, I was supposed to be on set somewhere. I called them, I said, I'm not coming. I said, I'm going to isolate myself. And apart from that, I'm sure there are people on set who have been somewhere. That's their business. I ain't trying to catch nothing. So, yeah. If you have any ideas, please let me know. Put it in the comment boxes. Let me know what I should talk about. Maybe I should review some stuff. I just feel like there's nothing to watch. I just can't wait for Money Heist to come out, honestly. Alright, see you guys soon. Blessings and love. Stay safe. Bye.